Who is Gerard Kingsley? Introduction video.
Hello, Gerard. How are you?
Good evening.
I'm good. The reason why I've invited Gerard today is for you as viewers to get to know him a little bit better, because normally he's very formal and reserved and not a real very passionate person about astrology that he is on video. So I wanted you guys to get to know him like I do. He has made such a big difference in my life, in my children's lives, in my friends' lives, his friends' lives. But we've actually started to encourage him to start a YouTube video so that people can understand what it is that he does, and to get to know him a little bit better. So, Gerard, very welcome. How are you today?
Thank you. Good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So, tell me, Gerard, what made you interested in astrology in the first place?
In 2012, a friend of mine, she gave me an astrology book as a birthday present. And
Okay.
I thought, like, what load of bull is this? And I just threw it in a drawer and I forgot about it. And 6 months later, she asked me, how was the book that I gave you for your birthday? And I was like, what book? Like, I was like,
oh my word.
and then she's like, the astrology book. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I can't remember. And then she made me feel so guilty that to appease her and my own conscience, I went home and I didn't stop looking for the book until I found it. And I thought, no, okay, I will, just to rid myself of the guilt, I will read the first 50 pages, just so that I can kind of say, okay, well, I've started reading it.
You can tell it,
Yeah.
I know something.
Yes. I've started reading it. There we go. When I got to the 50th page, I was hooked. And I never looked back. And that has been my entire journey. And I can honestly say it has truly changed my life. It has absolutely taught me everything about knowing thyself, knowing who you are as a person. And as much as I have been able to help other people, I actually feel somewhat like my journey started off a little bit selfish, because I wanted to know more about me. I wanted to know how to be the best me that I can be. And truly, that is what it did for me, astrology and numerology both. If I just think about myself at that point in time, about the assumption that I made when she gave me the astrology book, I think the majority of the population is misinformed. And we kind of make assumptions based on things that we experience in very small fragments, and then we think, okay, no, I know enough about it to make an informed opinion. And that's not how it is. Most people's first interaction with astrology or numerology is probably somewhere at the back of some magazine. It is not from an informed astrologer or an informed numerologist, or them actually doing the homework to go look up on any website about more information.
Yes, I agree. Yes, because that was my first interaction with astrology. There was a little paragraph in a magazine, and I thought, as a young girl, that that is what astrology is about. So, and until I met you, and you, it gave me a little bit more perspective of what the whole range of astrology is. It's not just that little paragraph in a magazine, but it's about personalities. It's about which personality gets along with which one, which star sign is the best for you to have as a mate or a partner, or which boss is the better one, or which star sign should you avoid, which will be colliding with your star sign. So it's a very big range of things, astrology. It's not just about that little paragraph in a magazine.
You showing little hand gestures like this, it makes me think of, I always have this little analogy that I say to people. Like, you reading the horoscopes in the back of a magazine is like me looking at your small toe and trying to explain to you what the rest of this attachment of this body looks like. The rest of it explain.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense trying to look at a small toe and trying to explain what the rest of the body looks like attached to it.
Yes,
It really doesn't
exactly,
make sense.
exactly.
So one has to keep in mind that that is really just such a small fragment of astrology. And in fact, it's actually not even the first part of how astrology originated. The first astrology was horary astrology, and horary means questions. And it was people asking questions, like kings and very wealthy families asking questions to their astrologers. And that is how astrology actually originated. Sun sign horoscope astrology only originated much, much, much later, which we now call natal astrology. What really frustrates me is people in the general public that have an opinion about astrology, but they don't know anything about astrology. So that's like someone having an opinion about an engineering field, but they don't have an engineering degree. And I think that's really a big misconception that a lot of people have, is they deliver an opinion about something that they know nothing about. They don't even know the basics. Can you imagine you going to your plumber and asking him what medicine you should take when you're very ill?
Yeah, no, I know.
I
You
mean,
know, it is ridiculous. And I remember when I first learned about astrology, and I actually learned that they used to do astrology as a subject in class, like you do. You know, you get maths these days, and
yes,
Afrikaans and English and whatever other subjects and social sciences, and they used to do astrology as a subject
yes,
because it is so vast, the information that you get, and to learn about the stars and what they can tell you, that I think people don't realize just exactly what benefit that will be in their lives if they knew all the things that's supposed to be known about astrology.
exactly. And I mean, you can just imagine if you follow your plumber's advice on taking what medicine, what a shit show that would be, literally, pardon the pun.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Um, so I want to encourage people to, when people that are out there, um, that you see that have such a strong opinion on something, or just ask them, do you have a degree in astrology? Because, and then you give them this analogy and say to them, you cannot have an informed opinion about something that you don't know anything about. And then another thing I want to say is that, let's use another analogy. If you look at the weatherman on TV
Yeah.
and he's predicting the weather and he's saying that it's going to rain cats and dogs tomorrow and it doesn't, do you then stop listening to the weather?
No.
Exactly. So it doesn't mean because he was wrong once that he'll be wrong again. Do you understand? It's the same with your
Yes.
doctor. Most people will even tell you, if they answer honestly, that many times doctors have prescribed the wrong medication or have ill diagnosed them. And yet we still go to the doctor, we still take the medication that they give us. So, I mean, you don't forget your umbrella at home just because the weatherman said it's going to rain, and now you think, no, he lied the last time, so this time I'm not going to take the umbrella, and then it rains. No, if your mechanic advises you to change your brakes, you change your brakes. You don't go rolling downhill over the edge of the cliff because you thought, no, 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 I know better, I'm a mechanic,
Yes. Yes.
So we do these things just in case. And that is exactly what people do with astrology. They go to someone because they feel that they have lost control over their lives. They don't know where they're heading. They don't know what they're supposed to do in certain situations. And they want to take a decision, but they want to be as informed as possible. And that is where astrologers and numerologists come into the picture.
Yes.
So, just so you know, you are so much more than your magazine horoscope. I've been doing numerology since 2009, and I've been doing astrology since 2012. I never realized it was that long. It's actually longer than most people's relationships are.
True.
As you can see, I'm truly committed to this polyamorous relationship. I absolutely love astrology and numerology, and I really take it very serious, and I really want to come across as very professional, because I do feel that there is a lot of people on YouTube that kind of do shots that's like on the go videos, and I understand that is their preference and that is how they want to do it, But I feel
Yeah.
that our purpose in having an astrology YouTube channel and numerology YouTube channel is we want to educate. We want to come across as professionals who are delivering a service, and we want to come across as someone that we know what we're talking about and we want to take it serious. I just feel that if we want people to take us as astrologers serious, we need to take ourselves serious. And that's why we need to look professional and we need to act professional and we need to make professional videos so that we come across as people that know what they're talking
I
about.
totally agree with you. There's so many people that just think they just want to shoot some YouTube videos because they're going to make a lot of money, but they don't realize that this is a professional business. It's a job. If you treat it like a business, it pays like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it pays like a hobby. So yes, I do agree with you. You really do need to be professional in your videos.
Subscribe to my videos so that I can assist you on your journey of self-discovery with the ultimate goal to help you realize your true potential and ultimately to achieve your life purpose.
How I started with numerology was in 2009, I went to a business seminar and it was very educational and everything. And then there was this older man, and I saw he was looking at me from across the room. And then he said to me, I just want to ask you something. When is your birthday? That's a strange question. And I said, why? And he's like, no, because you must be a 2, because you're very beautiful. And I was like, okay, well, that's flirting for you. And I was like, that's quite straightforward. And I was like, no, I'm not a 2. And he's like, no, but when is your birthday? And I'm like, no, the 29th. And he's like, well, 2 and 9 is 11, and 1 and 1 is 2. So you are a 2. And he said, I knew I was right because even your mannerisms is that of a 2. Well, and it kind of mesmerized me how he was so spot on without even knowing anything about me and just by pure observation.
Okay.
So then what happened was he said to me, can we go for coffee? And I was like, okay, cool. I would definitely want to know more about this. He didn't know anything about me. He literally just asked my birthday, and that's what he analyzed me on. And it literally blew my mind. He referred me to some numerology books. I read these numerology books and I was like munching away. The numerology book was the first esoteric book that I ever read. And it literally blew my mind at the knowledge that you could obtain from it and how you could analyze people purely based on their birthday.
Every short video is one step closer to knowing yourself holistically. Focus on enhancing your positive traits and work on doing the opposite of your negative traits.
Welcome back. We just had a short coffee break, and my next question to Gerard is, Gerard, what's the main message that you feel you want to bring over to your social media platforms regarding astrology?
I feel that so many people around the world, millions, if not billions of people, feel lost. They feel that they don't have a purpose in life. They feel that they don't know what they're supposed to do with their life. They feel that they don't know where they're heading. Like what it is that they're supposed to do on this planet. What is the difference that they're supposed to make? Are they supposed to make a difference? I want to help people understand that. I want to help them reach their true potential and their full potential and live every day the best day that they can and fulfill their purpose in life.
Okay.
People feel that they don't know what the meaning and the significance is to their life. And that is what I want to help them with. And do you want to leave the world a better place than what you found it? I'm sure you do. I want to help people find their purpose in life through all these different modalities that I've been studying over many, many years. You can contact me through my website, which will be in the banner above, and let me help you on this path and this journey of self-discovery.
I'm sure they can also leave you some comments if they wanted to be contacted, right? At the bottom.
Yes, they can. Remember, there's one very famous phrase. I don't know who said it, but the most important thing for us in this life and in your life and in anybody's life is to know thyself. When you know thyself, you will know God. And whatever name you call God by, it doesn't matter whether you call it universe or whatever, but just know that if you know yourself, you will move closer to your ultimate purpose.
So, tell me, have you looked at any other holistic sciences?
I've dabbled in many of the holistic sciences. I can't say all because I think there are more than what I can count. But yes, I have dabbled in many of the holistic sciences, and I'm also a Reiki master.
Good. What do you think is your life's purpose, your meaning? What do you want to achieve in your life?
I feel that my life purpose is to help other people find their life purpose. And people have problem areas in their charts, they have problem areas in their life, and I want to help them overcome those challenges and so that they can realize what it is that they need to do to overcome these challenges with the best and most informed decisions that they can possibly make. I can assist you to take the right steps to make the decisions to make these things happen in your life. I just want to say to the viewer, remember there's one thing that you have to remember. You are the largest investor in your life. Nobody else can put in the effort for you. Nobody can make decisions on your behalf.
Very true.
If you want to bring about change, you need to be the change that you wish to see in the world. But remember, nobody can do it on your behalf. And if you're going to wait for the planets to make things happen, you might just end up waiting for the rest of your life.
Very true. So, Gerard, I'm sure there's more things that you're interested in life than just the astrology and numerology. So, what other hobbies excite you, make you happy and fulfilled? Tell us.
There are actually so many hobbies and things that I actually love doing, but I'll narrow them down to only a few. I think my first and foremost passion is reading. I also enjoy researching, gardening, landscaping, drawing, painting, sculpting, pottery, designing. I dance ballroom, Latin, and ballet twice a week. And the latest addition to my hobbies is singing lessons. And then obviously anything spiritual, which is most of the other modalities and spiritual sciences.
Yeah. So I know you truly love art. I know I have a few pieces in my house that I adore. And I am so glad that you're one of those people who truly do what you say. You don't just preach it, you actually do it as well. So, what other interests do you have in life?
Some of my other interests are also, I have a charity project which is called the Speckworm International Charity Project, which is where I donate speckworm plants, which is the highest oxygen producing plant in the world, and they also consume the highest CO2s. And then I also love self-development, of course, and that's where kind of astrology and numerology, I believe, is self-development. I mean, that is learning to know yourself and learning to be the best you can be. So I think astrology and numerology falls into that category of being self-development. While my view is that we need to constantly change, and we need to constantly develop, and we need to constantly become the better version of yourself. Because you can't be the better version of somebody else, they're already taken. So
Yeah.
so you really have to just be yourself, your quirky self, your weird self, whatever you are, just be you. Just be comfortable, be the person that you're meant to be. I've realized something on YouTube. The weirder, the stranger you are, the more followers you have. It is mind-blowing, but it seems people connect with real people. They connect with people who are authentic. They connect with people who are different from the rest.
Yes, that's true. It is extremely true. Um, what genres of books do you read other than numerology and astrology?
As I said, I already love self-improvement books. I am addicted to fact books like QI. That's like general knowledge, I would say. Business leadership, psychology. Some of my favorite books are Slow Species of God, Conversations with God, The Magic of Thinking Big, A Purpose-Driven Life, Personality Plus, 5 Love Languages, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Think and Grow Rich, Consciousness is the New Currency, Skills with People, and The Breakthrough Experience, and many, many more. But as you can see, this is quite a wide variety of genres.
Yeah, that's true. What other modalities do you use in your practice other than astrology and numerology?
As I said before, I am a Reiki master, but I also use inspired thought or channeling, personality profiling. I do life purpose questionnaires with my clients and my students, self-development books, obviously, that I've read in the past, and anything else I see fit to address the client's specific needs. And in so doing, I can help you develop your own personal path, which will enable you to learn about yourself and your loved ones.
Good. Some people consider astrology and numerology as outdated. What's your take on this?
If astrology and numerology was outdated, then I don't think we would have even known that it existed, because then we would have long forgotten about it and we wouldn't even know what astrology is, and it definitely wouldn't be published in all the magazines. And then another thing is, would I be correct in saying that if astrology and numerology was outdated, that it wouldn't be correct or relevant in our lives at the moment?
True.
And I mean, you firsthand, and all my other clients, all your family that I've coached, you can all say that everything that was predicted or that was said was 100% accurate. I don't even think, was there any discrepancy for you that you've experienced?
No. And the thing is that as long as there's stars and moons and stuff, they will always exist. Astrology will always be there because that's part of our universe. That's part of us being human beings. It's part of the consistency of what's going on in the world. And there is just too much scientific proof that these things really work and that they really do exist for people to say. I think we long past the thing that it says it's voodoo or whatever. This is a real thing. This is a real science. This is something that truly exists in the world and that the world needs. And I think this will make your life so much easier if you just listen and take your advice and go for it and take a chance. Why not? What is there to lose? There's nothing to lose. For us to be more holistic in life, we need to start looking out of the norm. Stop being lazy, stop sitting in a butt all day watching TV. Just do something different in your life. Be different. Don't be the normal Joe on the road, on the street, on your next door neighbor, your colleague. Just be different and see what else life holds for you.
I agree 100%. I really do. And I think, and thank God, we're past the stage, I think, where people still consider astrology and numerology to be like voodoo, as you said. It is not so taboo as it was many years ago. I think we've come a long way since then. And as you said earlier, I want to reiterate that, is that the different parts of our life has never changed. Since the beginning of dawn till now, since the beginning of mankind till now, it has never changed. We all have loved ones. We will always have a career or a job. You will always have someone that you're interested in getting into a relationship with. Money and finances and anything to do with a working environment or a bad boss or a good boss or anything like that, we will always have those things. Those are areas in our life that will never change. You will always have to have a home, unless you live on the bridge, of course. But even then, that bridge becomes your home. So those things will never change. So as long as those things stay constant and remain, astrology will always be relevant. One needs to also ask oneself, if astrology is so outdated and numerology is so outdated, why is royalty, why is presidents and celebrities to this day still consulting with astrologers and numerologists? It can't be outdated because it's still very relevant to every facet of our life. And I mean, a lot of people know this, the Kennedys, President J.F. Kennedy is one of the most famous presidents to have ever used astrologers and consulted on almost everything in his life. And that's why he did speeches at odd times and odd hours, because they believed in astrology. So if people in positions of importance consult with astrologers, it tells you that someone like you, that is the average Joe or Jane, is you also need to take it serious if you want to get somewhere in life, if you want to be that important person. And if astrologers weren't accurate, people wouldn't come back year after year after year after year if they didn't feel that they were getting value for their money. So it definitely has an accuracy. And everybody that I know that practices astrology or that goes to see an astrologer all say that, I mean, 70% accuracy is like shooting it low. It's a really low bar because everybody that I know say it's 85% to 95%, if not more. The same for my clients. They all say the same accuracy. And it's not because of who I am, it's because of how accurate astrology and numerology is. It's sciences that have come for many, many, many centuries. And that is why it's accurate, because it's tried and tested and it's been proven. And whether the general public or whether the scientists out there believe in it or not, it's irrelevant, because as long as it works and we feel that it works for us in our lives, that's all that matters. Then I also want to say the margin of error lies usually with the astrologer or with the numerologist. It's and sometimes, of course, with the client, if the client on purposely deceives the astrologer or numerologist, or isn't completely 100% honest, or isn't transparent about the situation, or whatever. But most astrologers and numerologists will tell you exactly that. If they did a reading for someone and something happened that wasn't part of the prediction, so a part of the prediction came true, there were other factors that they didn't take into consideration. It's usually the astrologer or the numerologist that either didn't see that in the chart, and when they go in hindsight and look at the chart, they see it. Oh my goodness, why did I miss that? How did I miss that? It's so obvious, it was there all along, and so forth. And I believe that if you watch my videos in 70 years' time, obviously, as I said before, the topics in our lives remain the same. So in 70 years' time, when you look back at YouTube videos of astrologers, my videos, or anybody else, they will still be relevant. They will still be accurate. They will still be relevant to our lives as they are at that point in time.
Let's hope YouTube still exists in 70 years.
Yes, please, let's do.
Okay, Gerard, I'm sure people would like to know the little angel logo that you use on your YouTube channel. What does it mean? What's the significance of it? How did it come about? All those kinds of interesting things.
So, to start off with, I'm an Aquarius. So, Aquarius is one of the four winged beasts. So, it is a winged man, and then we get the winged bull, the winged lion, and the eagle. The eagle is the sub symbol. For Scorpio, it represents the base qualities of any Scorpio. So when they are living up to their ultimate true spiritual potential, then they live as a form of an eagle. And then if they don't, they are a grey lizard or a snake.
Oops.
Yeah. Um, So when a Scorpio has surpassed all their darkness and they live in the light and they exude all their positive traits, then they are an eagle.
I'm sorry, Gerard, but what does a Scorpio have to do with Aquarius?
So no, I was just listing the four winged beasts, which is the winged man, which is Aquarius, the winged lion, the winged bull, and the eagle. Okay, so that's where it comes from. That's where it originates from, the symbolism.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Aquarius is an air sign. So, and air obviously symbolizes communication, and wind and air and everything that has to do with the sky. So one thing a lot of people also get confused with is thinking that Aquarius, because it's aqua, means water, so therefore it's a water sign. But one thing you have to remember is that Aquarius is the water carrier. It is not water.
Okay.
So it carries the waters of life, and it brings the life, which is actually the Pisces, because Pisces is the sign that follows after Aquarius. So Aquarius brings the water for the Pisces, or with the Pisces, which brings the water of the Nile, and which is a symbol of bringing life. So it's like the sky and the clouds. The air carries the water, but it isn't necessarily the water.
Oh, okay.
A winged man is obviously just another word for an angel. And if you go look at the meaning of the word angel, it means the messenger. And that is what I want to be. I want to be the messenger to the people. I want to be the person who brings the knowledge, who brings the wisdom to the masses, and who brings the higher truth of all this ancient knowledge and wisdom that we are so fortunate to still have in this current day and age. And so the angel is the winged messenger. That is how we get to the final symbolism. And then there is, of course, I've always been fascinated with wings. When I was 4 or 5 years old, my parents would ask me what is it that I want to be when I grow up. And normal children say things like policeman, nurse, teacher, and so forth. But my response was, I want to be a bird when I grow up. So, of course, I was devastated when I found out these were the limiting options for careers. To my
Horror.
To my horror. Yeah, so I still have wing envy to this day.
Okay.
So I've chosen to have my logo as a winged man or an angel.
Okay.
The dots on the body represent the chakras, obviously, because I'm a Reiki master. So and the crown represents my surname, or is symbolic of my surname, Kingsley.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now I understand. Well, Gerard, it was nice having a chat with you and getting to know you, and I'm sure the viewers would love this episode that we had together. Hope we can do it again soon.
Thank you. It was lovely having you, and thank you for interviewing me. And thank you for the viewers watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and to click the bell notification to get notified of new videos when they get uploaded. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.